Does anyone remember Battle Girl High School? 'Cause I do. Hello everyone, this is Chai, back talking about another anime game. Today we're talking about Battle Girl High School, also known as BGHS, which was a mobile rhythm gacha game that featured many different unique and cute characters. It was published by Colopal. It was a bit different than your typical rhythm game because I use that term very loosely. It was more so a fighting game, but you had to tap along with certain timings to fight enemies. It released in Japan in 2015 and ended service in 2019. A BGHS anime series also aired in 2017, which we will also briefly talk about. Now, I am a 23-year-old woman, and while I probably wouldn't play this game nowadays, my high school self ate this shit up. The gameplay was really different from what I was used to, and the fact I had 3D models and what I believe to be live 2D animation was so cool at the time. I admittedly don't know exactly how this game died, plus it had a much shorter lifespan, so I can't do much of an analysis like I did for Love Live School Idol Festival. I might offer a little of my personal insight and look at pros and cons, but think of this video as a little history lesson and we can look at what the game and the anime offered. I am openly challenging myself this video to make it shorter than 20 minutes this time. I guess we'll see how that goes. Side note, I'm putting all of the sources I'm using in this video in the description, so please go check out those videos and those links if you're interested in more detailed information. The story of the game essentially goes like this. It takes place in the year of 2045. An alien race called the Erosu invaded Earth. It was looking pretty bad until a mysterious magical tree showed up that gave people powers to fight the aliens. And our main characters, Hoshimori, aka Star Guardians, are girls who, through the power of this mysterious sacred tree, are able to fight the invaders. The player character is assigned to Shinjugamine Girls Academy to train the students and take back planet Earth from the Erosu. The story is a part of both the game and the anime series. I don't have really much anything else to say about the story. It's pretty standard. Standard alien invasion, standard enemies with magical powers gained in order to fight them. It's nothing insanely unique. Battle Girl High School's core character list consisted of originally 15, but ended up at a total of 19 high school girls. I could list them off. I don't want to. There's a lot of them. Okay, here we go. Miki, Subaru, Haruka, Misaki, Nozumi, Yuri, Kurumi, Kanon, Shiho, Anko, Renge, Asuka, Sakura, Hinata, Sarare, Kaede, Michelle, Kokumi, and Urara. That's a lot. Okay. So clearly there were many characters for a fan base to latch onto, and all of them were pretty popular in their own way. I remember Sarone and Urara fans very vividly. The player plays a character called Sensei, and I will add that there's a very strange and uncomfortable power dynamic between a male sensei and a school full of girls. This is a point of contention within the fan base, and a lot of people find the interaction between the player and the characters very uncomfortable. As I stated earlier, this game is a gacha game. In this one, though, you not only did pulls for character cards, but also for weapons. The rarities were similar to most games. 4-star cards were the highest rarity, with 3 stars being decent, and the lower ratings being bad. Pulling a 4-star card meant getting a cute outfit, unlocking a special training option, good card stats, and a unique special attack. Believe it or not, there were no official rates published for the gacha in this game, at least according to the internet. Meaning, the percent chance for gaining good cards was unknown. Despite that, it seems there weren't many complaints about the pull rates, and they even frequently ran gacha boxes with guaranteed 4-star pulls, which is pretty uncommon in the market. Each character had a designated weapon type assigned to her, meaning you couldn't just use any weapon with any card or character. The weapon types were sword, spear, hammer, gun, rod, blade cannon, and twin bullet. The weapons were pretty cool looking in my opinion. Their 3D models would appear alongside the character when in battle. Getting a better weapon meant higher max damage, which would make killing enemies and clearing dungeons quicker. The card art was okay. The art style is not something that I would like today because it does look a little bit wonky sometimes, but it was cute enough. The roleplay aspect of gameplay, which led to many people finding themselves relating to the characters and enjoying them, consisted of giving characters gifts to raise their affection levels, patting their heads, and sending them off to do training. You could change the outfits too. The most important part of the gameplay was battling. Battles let you bring 3 members with you and consisted of clearing waves of aliens. I mentioned earlier that BGHS is technically a rhythm game. What this meant was tapping along to a very simple beat to do attacks. This beat pattern changed depending on weapon type. At the end of a set of beat taps, a special attack would be triggered. This special attack was unique to whatever card you had equipped. Special attacks were a large draw of getting certain 4-star cards, since some were especially powerful, some were also just really cute. The gameplay was fun, but extremely repetitive. Since you're simply killing waves of enemies, there was not much to do besides tap and dodge. Simple gameplay is not a bad thing, especially for a mobile game. However, I think the game could have benefited from a little bit of variety. I believe there to be a friend match and online match game mode, but have yet to find much information about it. There are a few other features in this game that I could talk about, but they're not extremely important, so I'm gonna skip them. So, the BGHS anime isn't available to watch on Crunchyroll, and with a My Anime List rating of a lovely 5.83, I will say that I have no desire to watch it, despite it being only 12 episodes. Not even for the sake of research. From the clips I can find, the show was very shallow fan service with mid-animation. Listen, I know I'm lame for not watching this anime for the sake of this video, but I saw this clip and it made me just so icked. Just watch it, please.
ダメ。そんなのさすがにいけないわ。お願い。わかったわ。任せて。
However, someone with the username Astrophonics on My Anime List wrote a review in 2022, which was after the game closed, that describes it perfectly, plus gives some unique insight about the franchise. So I will unashamedly use their words for this section. I would also love to put some clips of the anime in this video in the background. We'll see how that works. If you don't see them, then they were a copyright problem, but I will try so that you can get a glimpse. Anyway, this anime is based off of a mobile game by the same name, a combo-based tap-fighting game called Battle Girl High School. You play as teacher, called Sensei by the characters, in an all-girls school and are tasked with helping your students grow and guide them in battle against creatures called Irosu. Sensei as a character is placed on the back burner, which is a good thing, and the game and story overall focuses on the girls. The anime is more of that, but bad? It was so bad that I, a fan who had been playing this game since launch, couldn't stomach it and dropped it early on. I can only attribute this to because the anime was created in an era that I call post-episode 2 BGHS. The game's main story is separated into episodes, with many quests taking place in a linear format within each episode. Each episode tells a different story, with episode 2 being regarded as the peak of the story. And then episode 3 came out, and if I remember correctly, the game shut down not too long after. The quality in this story dropped tremendously, and it shifted focus into crass fanservice that the current fans of the game couldn't enjoy. The anime was created during this era of BGHS. The characters in this series deserve so much better than what they got. They were all likable, and you couldn't help getting attached to them, even the ones who you liked the least. This anime was the nail in the coffin for BGHS, and I'm sorta glad it was. The only good thing that came out of Battle Girl High School, the anime, I think, was changing Sensei's role and personality. He was no longer a disgusting pig of a man who preyed on his young students. Instead, he was an exasperated, father-like figure to the girls. I like this change. This turned into more of a review of the series than a review of the anime, but the reason why the anime was so bad goes hand in hand with the quality that the game sunk into. Pure fan service and no substance. Scrubbing away what made the series unique and enjoyable and turning it into a generic anime girl gacha game and an even more generic anime. As someone who didn't personally really read the stories in Battle Girl High School, because the game was in Japanese and I didn't really feel like seeking out English translations, I really wanted to include this review because it cross-references the story in the anime and the game, and also describes how the anime failed the franchise, and how the game itself failed the franchise, because of the fact that these stories gradually just got worse and worse, and reduced the game to fan service. So special thanks to this user for that unique insight, and now I just want to move on to just final thoughts for this game. Battle Girl High School is fun to look back at with rose-tinted glasses. It reminds me of a brief time in high school where I would play this game with my best friend. My crappy phone would overheat because the app was definitely not optimized, and we would try our best to pull cards of our favorite characters. The cast of characters were well designed and had fun personalities. Like every gacha game, you could pick favorites and produce them to the best of your ability. But at its core, BGHS was a product of its time. It capitalized on repetitive gameplay, dating sim elements, and gacha boxes. The artwork was inconsistent, the story went downhill, and eventually it couldn't make enough money to survive, even though it had enough money to make an anime, I guess. My biggest gripe with the overall style of the game is that the girls all look like children, and I have a real problem with that. Considering the player is supposed to be old enough to be a teacher to them, and there's romance elements, making the girls look like they are literally in middle school makes the situation even worse. It's really not something I can forgive, and is one of the bigger reasons why I would not find myself playing this as a grown adult. BGHS is one of many in a long line of anime gacha games that rise and fall. Remembering it is fun, but I don't think I would ever wish for its return. So with those final thoughts, to those who did play this game and remember it fondly, what do you think? Or if you didn't remember it fondly, what did you think? I'd love to hear your experience playing it. If you haven't played it, I would also love to hear what you think about this video. This is a shorter video than normal, but I wanted to cover something quick before I work on a bigger project. I hope you enjoyed regardless, and I will see you again soon. If you're somehow still here, that means you probably like me, but please support me because I low-key got screwed over by my job recently and I'm an artist, so check out my Ko-fi page and maybe commission me, or if you can, just support me. Thank you.